Welcome to the spine-chilling stories, where you hear true horror stories around the world that are both chilling and creepy. The Wendigo of the Northern Forest. The winter of 1872 was one of the harshest of Algonquin forests had ever seen in years. Snow blanketed the land, suffocating white silence, and the rivers frozen solid. Food was secured, and for those who depended on the land, survival was a daily battle. Among these men was Ellis, a French-Canadian trapper known for his skill in the wilderness. He had been traveling through these dense forests of what now Ontario, setting traps and collecting furs to trade. He had done this for years, but this winter felt different, as if there was this heaviness in the air, the unnatural stillness that made their hair on his neck stand out on end. Despite his unease, Elias pressed on. He had no choice. When Elias failed to return to the point he had figured out, after 3 days, his hunting party grew concerned. They know he was experienced outdoorsman. But the cold was merciless. A small group, including Jane and Thomas, set out to find him, following his tracks deep into the forest. They found his camp abandoned, a fire pit still slumbering, but with no signs of Elias. His rifle leaned against a tree, untouched. Strangely, there were no animal tracks, no signs of struggle, just human footprints leading away from the camp, deeper and deeper into the woods. They followed the footprints for the miles, even as the wind howled through the trees. Then the tracks changed. The once deep boot prints became lighter, more as if Elias had begun running or floating. Then they stopped entirely. As the night fell, the search party nearly gave up. They thought that something might happen to him, and it was better to leave the search right now, until they stumbled upon something horrific, something so grotesque and horrifying that they make them horrified for the rest of their life. At the base camp, there was a mutilated base camp of large trees. They found the mutilated body of Elias, or rather, what remained of him. His rib cage had been torn open. The grotesque sight was horrifying. It was twisted. His limbs were torn apart and twisted unnaturally. His face was frozen in the mask of horror, mouth open, as if caught in a final silent scream. Large bite marks covered his body, but no animal tracks were nearby. Worst of all, his eyes were missing, as if something had plucked them out. One of the men vomited, another whispered a prayer. Jane, the eldest among them, took a step back and muttered, "Wendigo! It's Wendigo!" Jane explained the legend in the hushed tones. The people, the local people of that land, spoke of a monstrous spirit that roamed the frozen forests, once a human, but transformed after committing cannibalism. The Wendigo was cursed with unending hunger, its body stretching into a gaunt skeletal form, its eyes sunken, glowing with unnatural fire. The man shivered, not just from the cold, but the realization that Alice might have succumbed to something far worse than starvation. Perhaps in his desperation he had eaten something he shouldn't have. Or worse, the Wendigo had chosen him. As they prepared to leave, a low, inhuman wail echoed through the trees. It was long, mournful, yet filled with unbelievable hunger. One of the men screamed, pointing in the direction a tall skeletal figure stood between the trees. Its skin was stretched tight over its bones, its eyes glowing like embers, antlers curled from its skull, and its long clawed fingers twitched in cold. It watched them from afar, and they ran. The man never spoke of Alice again. They abandoned their trapping season early and left the forest, vowing to never return. Over the years, the others vanished in the same region. The Algonquin people warned the travelers to never venture too deep into the woods during the winters, lest they hear the Wendigo's call. Some say it still wanders in those forests, searching for the next victim to enter his land, hunting, waiting for the next person to enter the land of Wendigo. The legend of the Wendigo is one of the most terrifying stories for the Native American folklore, and many believe it to be more than just a myth. Even today, campers and hikers report hearing unnatural screams deep into the forests of Canada and the northern US. Perhaps Alice's fate was not an isolated one. Perhaps the Wendigo still awaits into the cold, waiting, starving for the next meal. For more stories like this, please subscribe to this channel and keep watching the spine-chilling stories.